When your dog spins in circles before lying down, do you actually know what that means? It looks like they're just getting comfortable. Maybe fluffing an invisible pillow, or burning off a little extra energy. But behind that simple little spin, there's something deeper that most dog owners completely miss. It's one of the most instinctive and vulnerable things your dog can do. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might miss a critical signal about how safe your dog actually feels. Let's start with what this behavior really means. 1. It's not just getting comfortable. Have you ever watched your dog turn once, twice, sometimes even 3 times before finally lying down? Most people think it's about comfort, like your dog is adjusting the perfect sleeping position. But that's only part of the story. Here's what's actually happening. That spinning motion is your dog checking their environment before they become vulnerable. Lying down isn't just rest. When your dog lowers their body, they're giving up speed, awareness, and the ability to react instantly. Think about that for a second. In the wild, that moment could mean life or death. So, before they settle, they instinctively scan, adjust, and position themselves for safety. What this reveals is simple. Your dog doesn't just lie down anywhere. They lie down where they feel secure enough to let their guard down around you. And here's where most owners get it wrong. 2. Your dog's brain is still wired like a wolf. You might think your dog has outgrown these instincts. After all, they live in your home, sleep on soft beds, and eat on schedule. But here's what science says. A 2020 study on canine cognition found that domestic dogs still retain core survival behaviors inherited from their wild ancestors. Here's what's actually happening. Even though your dog lives in a safe environment, their brain still runs ancient safety protocols. Spinning is one of them. It's like a built-in checklist. Is the ground safe? Is there anything hidden? Am I protected from behind? Think about that for a second. Your dog isn't overthinking. They're following a pattern that kept their ancestors alive for thousands of years. And emotionally, that spin is your dog saying, before I rest, I need to know I am safe. What this reveals about how your dog sees you is powerful. If they spin quickly and relax easily, they trust the environment you provide. If they spin anxiously or repeatedly, something feels off to them. And here's where it gets even deeper. 3. They're using scent to claim safety. Have you ever noticed your dog scratching, circling, or even sniffing intensely before lying down? That's not random. Here's what's actually happening. Dogs experience the world through scent far more than sight. When they spin, they're not just checking visually. They're spreading and detecting scent markers. A 2021 study from the University of Helsinki found that dogs rely heavily on familiar scent cues to determine safety and comfort. Zones. Think about that for a second. Your dog is literally building a safe space using smell. By circling, they mix their scent into the area. They turn that spot into something familiar, something theirs, something safe. And what makes this even more powerful is if your scent is nearby, on a blanket, the couch, your bed. That process becomes faster, calmer, because to your dog, you are the safest scent in their world. You're not just their owner, you're their base. Your dog is identifying you as their safe place.
Yes, you
And hey,
are.
if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more dog owners who actually want to understand what their dog is really saying. 4. This behavior starts from puppyhood. Now here's something most people don't realize. This spinning behavior starts very early in your dog's life. Even puppies do it. Why? Here's what's actually happening. In the wild, Young pups learn quickly that rest equals vulnerability. So they develop small rituals like circling to prepare a safe resting spot. It could mean flattening grass, checking for insects, or positioning themselves close to the pack. Think about that for a second. This isn't learned from you. It's inherited, passed down through generations. And here's where it gets even deeper.
Yes, you are.
When your dog spins before lying down near you, they're combining instinct with trust. Instinct says, check the environment. Emotion says, this human is part of my safe zone. What this reveals is powerful. Your dog doesn't just see you as someone who feeds them. They see you as part of the environment that keeps them safe enough to rest. 5. They don't do this the same way everywhere. Have you noticed your dog behaves differently, depending on where they lie down? Maybe at home, they spin once and drop immediately. But in a new place, they spin more. They hesitate. Most people ignore this. But here's what's actually happening. Your dog adjusts their behavior based on how safe they feel in that moment. Think about that for a second. The spinning isn't fixed. It's flexible. More spinning equals more uncertainty. Less spinning equals more trust. And what makes this even more powerful is they don't do this equally with everyone. If your dog settles quickly near you, but not near others, that's not random. That's emotional selectivity. Your dog is choosing where and with whom they feel safe enough to rest. What this reveals about how your dog sees you is simple. You're not just familiar. You're trusted. The moment your dog turns their back to you, here's something subtle, but incredibly important. After spinning, many dogs lie down facing away from you.
Are you okay?
At first,
What do you need?
that might seem strange. Shouldn't they face you if they love you? Actually, no. Here's what's actually happening. When your dog turns their back to you, they're exposing their most vulnerable side. Think about that for a second. They can't see you. They're not watching you. They're choosing not to monitor you. And that means one thing. They trust you completely. In the wild, turning your back is risky. You only do it when you feel safe. So when your dog lies down and settles with their back to you, that's not distance. That's trust at its highest level. What makes this even more powerful is they're not just resting. They're relaxing because you're there. If this behavior changes,
Boy, come
pay
here.
attention. Now here's the part most owners miss. What if your dog suddenly stops spinning before lying down or starts doing it excessively? Here's what's actually happening. Changes in this behavior can signal stress, discomfort, or even health issues. If your dog spins more than usual, it could mean they feel unsafe, they're anxious. Something in the environment has changed. If they stop entirely and seem restless, it could mean pain, joint, discomfort, or underlying health problems. Think about that for a second. This tiny habit you've been ignoring might actually be one of the clearest signals your dog gives about how they feel. Don't ignore this. So next time your dog spins before lying down, watch closely. Because that moment isn't random. It's not just about getting comfortable. That's not a habit. That's instinct, trust, and vulnerability all happening at once. Your dog is checking their world and deciding it's safe enough to rest in it. Safe enough because you're there. That behavior, it was never small to your dog. And it shouldn't be small to you either.